Hello, Jim Adams here. Today I want to share with you my journey selling options. I've been selling options probably going back 10 years, but over the last year I decided to really learn how to do it the right way. So, back in September of last year, I decided to really kind of dig deeper and learn how to do things the right way. So, today I'm going to share with you, what I learned. I've done over 199 trades. I've averaged 2,000 a month, and I believe others can do this, and I think you're going to enjoy what I have for you today. So please stick around. I think you can also adopt a lot of the things I'm going to share with you, and you too can retire sooner than you ever thought possible. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Easy Investing Income YouTube channel. This is a channel that's dedicated to sharing with others how you can actually make a good passive income selling options, and especially using safe option strategies. Along with this YouTube channel, I also have a blog that goes along with the same name. It's the easyinvestingincome.com, and it also has additional articles and more information on how to get started and how to actually sell options. So I encourage you to also look at the site. Before we get started, I do need to do a little bit of a disclaimer. If you want to actually try to make some of these trades, just understand that there is risk involved and do your own due diligence. I'm a hobbyist. This is something I do for fun. I enjoy doing it, and it gives me a way of making extra money working a couple hours a week. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I've been doing this for a little bit over a year. I started September of last year and really wanted to dig deeper. I found before that, going all the way back probably 10 years, I was just selling covered calls and really didn't know what I was doing. Didn't even know I could close them, didn't know I could roll them, didn't really have much of an understanding. I just knew I had a lot of coke and I wanted to earn some income on it. And so I just started selling covered calls, and a lot of them expired outside the money. I did have quite a few last year that before I started this whole process that did get assigned. I was okay with it because I was trying to divest away from Coca-Cola. So, but I also learned that I didn't really know what I was doing, so I decided to do a deeper dive to really learn the best way to actually sell options. And again, I'm a option seller. I'm not typically an option buyer. The only options I do buy are related to vertical spreads. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later in the video. So today I'm going to share with you, and I want to just kind of stick to the facts and not kind of go on tangents, which is difficult for me. I like to go on tangents. So I've done over 199 trades. Let's actually move over to, I've got a spreadsheet set up so I can talk about those. Let me move this out of the way a little bit. Let me put this over here. So this is a summary of what I did. So I did 185 trades in my actual brokerage accounts. I did 9 trades in my retirement accounts. This is an area that I'm looking to do more of in the future. Only 9 trades over a year. I could have done a lot more. I didn't. I wanted to kind of learn working with my brokerage before I jumped into actually getting into the retirement accounts. But going forward, I'm going to do a lot more with my retirement accounts, see if I can actually juice those returns and do a lot better with them. And this does include 5 September trades. So I've really had a really good week. I've done probably $600 this week on just my September trades. I'll probably do a different video about September, probably in October, that details what I've done. I'm continuing to focus on earning about 2,000 each month with about 15 trades. I've been able to do that pretty regularly over the last 6 months. So here, if we go back, and you'll notice over here, I've got the trade averages. So if you go back all the way to the beginning, I've averaged 133 on each trade. And then in the last 4 months, I've been averaging nearly $157. So as I get better with this and I pick the right deltas and I make the right choices, I've been able to do a little bit better. I did have some options that would assign, but of these 199 options trades, I only had two really get assigned, and these were Microsoft and DVY. In Microsoft, it looks like I am going to take a loss. I did a video, I think it was 2 videos ago. I'll do a link maybe at the end so you can take a look if you want to see what happened and why I lost money with Microsoft. But it's the jury's still out on it. Schwab allowed me to borrow 100 shares. So right now, Microsoft has been going down. It was at the time of that video, I think it was 304. Now it's, I believe, 98 or 97. And if I can sell it or buy it at 90 or no, 290, then I'll do a lot better. It was 304, and now I think it's like 297. So, and in DVY, I did okay. I really didn't take a loss with that being assigned, but out of nearly 200 trades, only two being assigned is pretty good. And they were both calls. And I've only done, you'll notice Microsoft was a call credit spread, and I've only done two of those. I've done one with Microsoft and I did one with ARKK, and in both instances I got in trouble, meaning I had to roll them and I got deep in the money. So I'm not going to do those trades anymore. It was one of the four typical trades that I did. So going forward, I'm not going to do those trades. The three main trades I am going to do are the covered calls, cash secured puts, and then put credit spread, vertical credit spread. So then the main reason that I'll continue to do it with a put vertical credit spread is because I'm still investing in value companies, and these are still companies that I'm okay if it gets assigned because I want to own those companies. And there's less downside. So to give you, for instance, if Intel or Cisco is 55 and I sell a put at 50 and it drops to 45, I'm still okay with picking it up at 50. And typically it's not going to fall that much. I mean, it may go down from, let's say worst case scenario and the market corrects by 20%, it may go down into the 30s, but I can typically roll, and I've rolled several of the put vertical credit spreads and been able to get out of trouble. The difference with the call vertical credit spreads is like ARKK, I think it doubled, almost tripled in value. And same thing with Microsoft. When I was first trading it, it was 220, 230, and it went over 300. So it just, in my personal experience, it just feels like you have less risk dealing with, especially a value stock, something like an Intel or a Cisco or ExxonMobil, where they're only $55, $60. I do also trade ABBV, which I think is ABV, and it's right around 105, 110, and it's one of the higher price stocks, except ARKK, which right now I think is around 110. And I also have done a little bit of selling of puts, or the put vertical credit spreads on Apple. I've tried to pick up Apple, but Apple's gone through the roof, so they're going to expire way out of the money. So one other point about these assigned options, in every instance I got caught with the ex-dividend date. One of the things that I've learned going over this past year of this journey was you need to trade several days, maybe a week before an ex-dividend date. Don't just look at the expiration date, also be aware of the ex-dividend date. And both of these, Microsoft and DVY, I got hit with the ex-dividend date. And if you don't understand, the ex-dividend date is when the company announces, well, we're going to pay a dividend. If you own the stock on the ex-dividend date, then you're entitled to that dividend. So the option owner can gain a little bit more money by having it assigned at that point, because they would own the stock early enough that they would get that dividend that's coming up. I also, like I said before, I'm going to do fewer of the vertical, or not fewer of. I'm not going to do the call vertical credit spreads anymore, and those were primarily the ones that got me in trouble during the year. And then I also wanted to mention the puts. I found that puts, one way I've been able to increase the average, puts actually pay a bit more than calls. So I started off primarily doing probably more covered calls than puts. Now I'm probably doing more puts than calls. When I just quickly looked at the numbers, it looks like it's in the last couple of months I've done closer to 60% puts and maybe 40% covered calls. And again, I've used these guidelines, and I've stuck with these from the very beginning. I'm going to continue to stick with them. I've used the 10% out of the money, meaning if I make the investment, I'll use another $50 stock. So if I have a $50 stock and I'm doing a covered call, well, I would look for getting 55 for that stock. So if it's assigned at 55, I'm perfectly happy, especially if it's 60 days. A 10% return in 60 days is quite good if you can regularly do that. On the put side, it's the reverse. So it's a $50 stock, then I would be writing or selling a 45. I'd be using a 45 strike, so I'd be willing to own that stock at 45. And since I'm also a dividend investor, probably 50% of what I earn comes from dividends. That these are all dividend paying companies, so I'm trying to get more dividends. If you're looking at a stock that pays 3.5% yearly, if you can pick up that stock at a 10% discount, then you can even do better on the dividend, maybe get closer to a 4% dividend on it. And that's what I shoot for, between 3 and 4% for the dividends. I also typically do 30 to 60 days. Sometimes I will go a little farther out. Sometimes I'll even do what's called leaps, which is way far out. I did one on AT&T, mainly because it paid really good premium, and it was at a $20 strike price, which I can't imagine AT&T going down to, but it might happen. And then I also use a 20 delta, so I use it as a probability. So I know a 20 delta is like an 80% probability that the stock will expire outside the money. Some people who are a little bit more risk averse may do a 10% delta, which would give you a 90% chance, but I've been very successful with the 80%. With so few assigned, and both of those were assigned again because of the ex-dividend date. If I had been aware of that, I should have been aware of it. It's one of those kind of stupid things that I did. I should have rolled before, and I could have gotten out of trouble with both of those and rolled and probably made even more premium. I also will close a contract if I can earn good premium on it. So if there's 90% return and there's not much value left, then I typically will close it. I sometimes will also roll those because when you're rolling, you're really closing your current positioning and opening another one. So, and then the last one is, originally when I started this, I was trying to earn $50 a trade. Now I'm shooting for 100 and maybe even more, like 150. Probably I should have put 150 here. But in the retirement accounts, they're a little bit harder. They're smaller accounts, and $100 is what I'm going to focus on for them. So there you can see the different kinds of trades. Each month I am sharing my actual trades in different videos. I do have a Patreon page that I'm sharing, what I do each month, as well as early in the week I'm actually going to share what I'm going to be trading that week and what I'm looking at trading. So I encourage you to join Patreon. There'll be a link below. And as always, please hit that like button. I can use it as a new channel. I'm still getting started learning how to do these videos and hopefully doing better with each video. So going forward, what am I going to do? I'm going to continue doing this. I could do probably more than $2,000 a month, but again, I'm on Obamacare and I don't want to make too much, or my subsidies will go away and I'll have to pay a lot more for my insurance. But I do feel like I can do a lot more in my retirement accounts, that I can juice those accounts, maybe earn an extra 5 or 6% over what I'm currently earning. So I'm going to look at that. I'm going to do more videos about that. And then one trade I forgot to mention is I did do an iron condor. I'm going to look into more about doing iron condors, especially with these value companies that don't move that much. The Iron Condor I did was with Coca-Cola, and it was an okay trade. I think I made $70, but I'm also may look at doing that a little bit more in the retirement accounts. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I encourage you to try this on your own. If you need some help or you have a question, please add a comment below. I'd love to have some comments, and I hope you tune back in and have a great day. Thanks for joining me. Bye bye.